let's shine our light on this, all the spotlight on this beautiful young girl. She brings so much love and joy and positivity into my life and in my community. Pau has been such a vibrant and dedicated member of Connections, at least for the past 1 year. She's been a part of every collaborative project that I'm organizing. And she always brings in her infectious energy and loyalty and tons of love into everything she does. Here's one fun fact. I didn't want to say this, but I'm going to say it anyways. Pau is a compulsive giggler. There you go. Seriously, after talking to her, it's impossible not to feel better. Whatever mood you are in, she's that person who can turn your entire bad mood around in just minutes. Less than 2 minutes, I'll say. And I absolutely love her for it. And don't miss her expert article on the savvy solopreneur, okay? Hers is the most beautifully designed article I think I've seen in our magazine. Now, zone of genius. What was that? Google, Facebook? She's gonna kick my butt if I keep doing this. Okay, it's Pinterest. She's a Pinterest marketing strategist. She's a Pinterest manager. She's a Pinterest educator for coaches and solopreneurs and service providers. Her specialty is in helping online business owners kiss their marketing stagnation goodbye. With strategies that you can use yourself, she helps you attract your ideal clients, your audience on repeat and autopilot. Today, she's here to deliver her talk on 5 tips to stand out on Pinterest and attract your ideal audience. Pinterest is not just a social platform, it's a powerful search engine. Every entrepreneur should be on it to drive traffic and visibility and sales to you. So Pau is going to start sharing in a moment. And before she says, I want to shine some extra light on the course that I'm taking from her on Thinkific. Invest something in this course. This course is a game changer. And I'm not joking when I say she knows more than the owner of Pinterest.
No, I don't.
Go,
I
Pau.
don't.
Take it away.
And I'm just speechless now. This is your way to introduce people and also Richard. Man. When you hear the lady, you know who I am now. And something interesting happened just a few weeks ago. I don't know if you ever experienced something like this. Sometimes I have a toddler and I live with my partner, and sometimes we go for walks together. And we're walking on the sidewalk, and our toddler's legs are at least half of ours, so we have to take smaller steps, or else we will be dragging him. We don't want that. So we were walking slow, and I kind of looked behind, and I saw there was a lady walking behind us, and instinctively we pulled aside so that she could have space, room to walk, and she passes by, right? We always do that. At some point I lost sight of her, and a little bit more forward we encountered this lady again, and she was in the verge of crossing, and maybe at first glance it looked like she was perhaps waiting on the cars to stop so she could cross the street and but there was something more. Instinctively I was like, no, she's not there stopped because she can't pass by. There's something that she needs. I don't know what it is. I cannot say what it is, but I know she needs something. And I guess she picked up on that because at some point we lock eyes, right? Whenever you are looking, you can stare at somebody all you want, but when somebody stares back at you, it feels like this, right? So at some point, it's just me and her. And then I notice that she starts walking towards me, and my anxiety goes, oh my God, what is this happening? Why is she walking towards me? What is gonna happen now? And when she stands right in front of me, she goes, excuse me, I just got here. I'm new to the neighborhood. Could you please point me in the direction to the grocery store? And I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? Let me just walk you there. Because if I open my mouth, I'm gonna get you lost. And I swear it's only a few steps away, right? And I've practiced. If somebody asked me to point them in the direction to the grocery store, I know what to say now. But at the moment, it caught me off guard, and I was like, no, let me just walk you there. And me, my partner, and the baby, we dropped her in the grocery store, and then we went to our own thing. And see, the thing is, verbalizing instructions has never been my thing. It's not my learning style. I know some people can just hear things and just learn that, and I admire that. If you're one of those, my respect for you, but I'm not. If you talk to me, it's probably going to come through here, and go out here. And it's not personalized, it's just an ADHD thing. So when I'm teaching something, when I'm sharing something, I need to make things visual for you. And I believe that way you can understand things better. And when it comes to Pinterest, like Summer said, Pinterest is a search engine, but more than anything, it's a visual search engine. So to tell you about Pinterest, I need to make things visual for you. But before I do that, before I go and share my screen, can you please tell me in the chat, if you're so kind, can you tell me if you have a Pinterest account, if you've ever used Pinterest, even if it's just for personal recipes, home decor, whatever. I know you're still thinking that it's only for that. It works, it works. Or if you have used it for business, or if you have never heard that you could use Pinterest for business, and I get that a lot. So go ahead and say that in the chat. Let me see. It's there. Okay. Now, tell me one more thing, and this is going to be very important. I want you to keep this thing in mind. The response that you're going to give me in the chat, keep it in your head, okay? And I'm going to try to do that as well. So please tell me, if you had to describe your business in 3 words or less, maybe 2, 3 words, what does that look like? How do you describe your business in 3 words or less? Tell me in the chat. I like that. Yeah, I get you and coach. Mentorship, okay. Video that connects, okay. Stress and burnout, okay. New start now. Employees into entrepreneurs, okay. Purpose, power, prosperity, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen now. New connections, purpose, nice. Okay. Now I'm gonna share my screen because I have something to show you. First of all, the thing that I want to talk to you about today is 5 tips to stand out on Pinterest. Pinterest being the search engine where people happen to be actively searching for what they want. That might be you, who knows, we'll see. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Not yet, it's still loading.
It's still loading, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank God. Okay, so the first thing, more than a tip, is like a pillar. Search engines, whatever they are, in this case it's Pinterest, but it's also YouTube or Google, whatever other search engine, they work with keywords. That's how they function, okay? Keywords are words, phrases, specific search terms that people use to search for the things that they want to find, okay? So in the case of Pinterest, remember I asked you to describe your business in 2 to 3 words? When you have your 2 to 3 words in mind, in order to find your own keywords and know if people are searching for what you offer, searching for things in your industry, you type those 2 or 3 words in the search bar like this. I use a random example. I use brand identity as an example. It's an example that I like to give. And then the search bar tool is going to give me some suggestions, let's say, but these are not just random suggestions. These are actual search terms that people are already utilizing to do their search, okay? So, for example, okay, also, in a search engine, whatever it is, in this case it's Pinterest, in order to have better chances to show up on search results, you have to have your keywords in place. So this goes in your business account. Yes, it has to be a business account, and because it helps you track your content, your reach, if your audience is responding to it or not. So you put those keywords in your display name, your bio description, your username if possible. If not, no biggie. Your board titles and description. Now, Pinterest boards, if you have used Pinterest, you know what Pinterest boards are. But if anybody hasn't used Pinterest at all, boards are those spaces where you keep your content organized. Oh, nice and pretty. But it's not only for that. Boards also tell the Pinterest algorithm where your content is supposed to go. Okay. And then your pins, your content, whether it's image or video, go to your boards. Like they're structured together. And when you have your pins, you have to add your keywords in your pin titles, your pin descriptions, tags if it's required. And the bonus tip is in the pin file name, but we're going to touch on that later. So don't worry about taking notes right now. I'm going to give you a checklist at the end. And now for the brand identity design example, right? One of those keywords that we saw in the search bar tool. If you search for brand identity design, the search engine is going to throw some results based on that specific search term, based on that specific keyword. And what do I have? Key elements to build a strong brand style, brand identity design, as it is, brand consistency, branding, and things like that, okay? So that's how the algorithm works. That's how it picks up on where to put your content. If you add your keywords where they're meant to go, and somebody is searching for, what was that in the chat? I believe it was get shit done. So I'm thinking productivity. People are searching for productivity tips, for example, or hacks, or how to be more productive, or whatever, and you have your keywords like that, then you're most likely to appear in search results. I saw something about employee to entrepreneur. So that sounds like how to live the 9 to 5. I don't remember if that's a keyword. I know that the keyword is starting a business and how to start a business from home, from scratch, things like that. So that was just an example. Now, this is a different example, but this is what happens with the pin image or the video. So I have this one right here. Let's say anybody was searching about boundaries, and we had somebody talk about boundaries. That was humoring. And if somebody encounters that pin that is telling you about boundaries, I only have to give one tap, and boom, I'm in the website. Your pins can be linked to podcast episodes, YouTube videos, your homepage, blog posts, a freebie if you have something, right? For example, this one, I don't know, it's probably too small, but basically it's a page where you can sign up for a free course in exchange of a name or an email. What does it mean? If the person decides to sign up, and most likely most people do, in the sense that they were already interested in knowing about boundaries. So if you have a free resource to offer that they can encounter, they sign up for it, they leave you the name and the email, and they consent that, then they are in your email list to get into your sales funnel. Now, what happens if this person, let's just say this pink hand here is a person, right? Let's just assume for a second that this person got distracted, right? ADHD, online world, whatever, people are busy. If this pink hand person leaves without signing up at the moment, maybe they didn't follow you, maybe they didn't save the pin, but the moment they decided to interact, the algorithm remembers that and it's going to continue to show your content on their feed multiple times. When it comes to Facebook ads, I had nothing against Facebook ads. I'm sure they're great, just to clarify. But when it comes to doing ads, this is called retargeting and it costs more money, usually. I don't know, I'm no expert, but I know that it costs money. Pinterest, the algorithm does that for free simply because that's the way it works, okay? Now, now we have established about keywords and all those things. The other tip that we have is Pinterest trends to stand out. The difference between Pinterest trends and social media trends is that instead of doing, funny dances and perhaps like trending audios, maybe songs, we don't really do songs on Pinterest because that's copyright infringement. You get in trouble, so don't do that. Pinterest has their own sounds. Pinterest trends are more specific to a theme that is inspirational, or also Pinterest trends can also be keywords that are popular at certain times of the year, maybe throughout the seasons. So this is what the Pinterest trends tool looks like. You have to have a business account to be able to use things like this. So I just typed starting a business in there as I would type any other keyword. And here's an example, right? So I click on this and it shows me a graphic. In this graphic, I have already compared other keywords. That's the cool thing about the trends tool. You can see starting a business is the blue one, and it shows me how popular it is throughout the year, how it performs. And then I can also compare with other keywords that are similar, shows me which one is more popular than the other. Now, I didn't take the screenshot of this, but if I were to scroll down from this graphic, Pinterest will also show me the demographics of the people who are searching for this in specific gender and ages, and also gives you some content examples that are already ranking under those keywords so that you get some ideas and inspiration as a content creator. This is a random example about holidays, and I see your faces on top of this, but I hope you see the curves here. But when Christmas happens in December, when Thanksgiving happens in November, but do you see that it's building up from months prior? That is because on Pinterest, people are planning for the future. So ideally, you want to be putting out your content before the peak so it gets the most exposure. That's how you take advantage of the trends. And see, the thing is, even if let's say we were right on Christmas today and I put out my content, maybe it's not going to get the most exposure now. But the thing with seasonal trends throughout the year and the fact that on Pinterest my content is there forever, then it can, get on the wave next year. So your content, whatever you pin now, can still bring you leads and traffic years from now, okay? Now, let's talk about the pins that are actually gonna get the clicks. So now that you have the keywords and the trending keywords, let's talk about a bit of design. You don't have to be the best at design. I know that I am not, right? So I just wanted to give you this example. In the left, probably in the left, I hope, it's there is this pin images. One is a little darker, the one is light, and it's a little hard to read the text. Maybe you can read it now because my screen is bigger, right? But picture this, on Pinterest, at least from mobile, from your phone app, we can see it at the very least 4 pins at the same time, you know? And if your content is easy to read, if the font is too scripty, if there is no contrast and you cannot really see what's in there, not everyone is going to stop by. So I think they still did a better job with a darker background. Still small, but better job with the darker background. And here is just 2 examples on how when we create pin design, we can play around with contrasts to make sure that the font is readable and it doesn't get lost with the background colors and things like that. So another thing that you can use for, to spark curiosity on people, and again, you don't have to be the best at design, just look at this, it's very simple. So one thing that you can use are hooks. Hooks are like headlines or certain words or phrases that get people's attention. So for example, this one, how to easily attract customers. Yeah, you want to attract customers easily. You don't want to make it hard. Now, at these elements, so I'm saying these elements, but I'm not telling you what these are until you click, right? Until you actually visit my blog post. Another thing that you can use are call to actions, because, well, we have ADHD sometimes, and a good call to action can just redirect our attention, right? And lead the way. It's not personal. Sometimes we just get distracted. And then the numbers, 3, 5, 7, right? If I am scrolling and I see numbers and I'm like, okay, 3 elements, 3 tips, 3 simple steps, 5 things, 7 tips or whatever, it's gonna be faster. The read is gonna be faster than if I have to click on something that says there is something, right? So it gives you an idea. Now, speaking of elements and numbers and things like that, another thing that you can throw in every now and then, I highly recommend this, are infographics. See, infographics, as you can see, sometimes the text is smaller, but because of the way they are structured and the imagery and the colors, they tend to get people's attention. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Again, I'm not the best at design. And even if you are not the best at design, there are templates that you can get from Canva. Actually, this one is from Canva. I don't remember if it was already the pro version or not, but you get the idea. So the thing with infographics is that they're so they're aesthetically pleasant and they're informative at the same time. So infographics are always driving people to engage with them, and they're great for saves, like for people to save your content. And the more people interact with your content and save it to their boards and whatever, it makes it more relevant for the algorithm. Also, let's imagine I find your infographic and I save it, but maybe I didn't take action. I didn't go straight to the website the first time or whatever. I swear I have nothing against social media. I am a social media consumer myself. As you can see, the screen in the left, hopefully, is TikTok, and it's my save section on TikTok. But you can see it's all mixed together. I have something from a video game here. I think this is home decor and plants and Brendan Fraser, because why not? Whatever. It's all mixed together. So if I want to find something here, I really have to scroll down and make an effort to see in the thumbnails to see that I don't lose it. And it's from different subjects. Now, on Pinterest, I have my boards. Everybody has their boards on Pinterest, and they will have their boards for different subjects. And if we save something to our boards, we will know exactly where to find it, because it's simply easier, let's say, easier to search for it, okay? Now, this is just a little screenshot to show you the actual infographics tend to do better because of the engagement that they bring. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Actually, if you saw the one that says for Pinterest tips for success, that one actually brought me I have a very special place for that one in my heart, because back in 2023, I was going through a major existential crisis and I didn't want to deal with the world. I don't know if you've ever experienced that you just don't feel like no, I just have to grow. It's okay because I can deal with the world today. But I remember one morning in 2023, because I was still checking my email like a maniac, because I still do that. I had somebody who had booked a call with me, like randomly out of nowhere. That was not possible in my head at the beginning because I had shut down every social media, right? But I didn't shut down Pinterest. And Pinterest does this thing where they still, your pins can still bring you traffic even though you're not there. So somebody found me, somebody was searching for Pinterest. They said they were searching for a Pinterest expert, found my pin, clicked through my pin, and then they landed on my page and they booked a call with me. And when we had that call, that's what they told me, that they were looking for a Pinterest expert, and that's how they find me. Therefore, there was not really any hesitation on their end to hire me because it was pretty obvious that they. So now I want to talk about video, but no, it's not something that you have to do. Okay, this is just a recommendation. And when it comes to video, think of this: when you are scrolling and you see, again, like at least four images, maybe they're static and you look at them all at the same time, but suddenly you see something moving in the corner of your screen, that gets people attention. And the word video on itself is a keyword. So I'm going to give you the example of starting a business again, because I remember doing the keyword research for somebody and I was typing how to start a business, and people are adding video, like how to start a business video, right? Like maybe they don't want to read the blog post. They want to see somebody explaining that to them. So other thing, ideally, video will be somewhere in between 5 seconds and 5 minutes tops, as in length. And also you can have your video, it can be you, but also it doesn't have to be you, because there are animated pins and there are faceless reels. I'm going to show you in a minute. And also you can take what you already have. Like if you already happen to have video content, let's say in social media, you can repurpose that, and that way you don't have to create things from scratch. This is an example of animated pins. In the sense, these are two different pins actually, but the thing here is that they kind of move, like you have the moment to read what's in the cover, like where do I find keywords? The other was it's all about keywords. And then the slides kind of move. It gives you enough time to read it, of course, and the person can just pause it if they don't. But yeah, the slides move and you have time to read, and it's on my face. And also this one here, we have the background that actually, the background kind of moves, but there is only text, and that's it. It's called a faceless reel. So nobody's showing their face there. Although if you're a bit confident and you can, be on camera confidently, like I know we have somebody talk about that, you can tap your videos with your face. Now, don't get scared. This particular example is something that went viral overnight, but it's not because of her showing her face. It's more about the fact that it had keywords. This was about money. Okay, who doesn't want to know about money? We had entire day three of Symposium Synergy to talk about money because people want to know about money. So whatever people were searching for money and business funding and things like that, that's where they were able to find this pin. Okay, so keywords. The other thing is that she actually had a nice hook. Why wouldn't a business owner want free funding? Like, duh. And yeah, it was engaging. Yes, she's talking to the camera, but it's not all that. It was about the content in itself. It was relevant, it was interesting, and that's why it went viral. I don't know if you can tell. Probably you cannot tell, it's just a video, but it's actually a repurposed video from TikTok. Okay? I don't know what's going to happen to TikTok. I don't want to, have people in panic or anything like that. I don't know if it's just the news of the moment. If anything were to happen to TikTok in your country, my country gets skip it. I don't know about yours. If anything were to happen to TikTok, you can take your TikTok videos and repurpose them to Pinterest. And this is how you do that. You copy the URL of the video you want to use. Just make sure there's like no songs in there that could be copyright infringement. Then you go to the Snaptic app. I use this from my computer because it's more comfortable for me to see everything in a big screen rather than in my phone. But if the phone works for you, go for it. Then you paste the URL into the search bar of the Snaptic app, and it shows you the video, right? And once you make sure it's a video that you did want to download, you download it. And once it's downloaded to your device, it doesn't have the watermark anymore. So the watermark is the TikTok logo with the username, and Pinterest doesn't like that. That's why you have to delete the watermark. Okay, so an extra tip, remember the bonus tip from where to add the keywords is the file name. So what I do is that whenever I download, at least from my computer, I can see that the file name, the video, has a fun name like Snaptic and a bunch of random characters. So I click write and rename, and I added keywords. So in that case, it was about business funding and money. I don't remember the exact keywords. I think it's how to get money for your business, things like that. And then once you have the pin file named with keywords, so if I were to download my own video, I will have to add keywords like related to Pinterest marketing, Pinterest tips, Pinterest for business, you name it. Then you go to Pinterest and you upload that to the pin builder. Then you start doing the thing to post the pin. Very important of all, pick a video cover. I hope you don't miss this. If you ever do video, pick a video cover, because two things can happen. Either something can happen, it can be glitchy, and sometimes the video shows as a blank screen, and there goes your effort. Or you can look amazing, giving a speech to the camera, very engaging. But Pinterest, unintentionally, obviously, is gonna pick the exact moment where you look like this, okay? So let's prevent that situation. Pick a video cover. Apply your keywords where they're supposed to go. And then you can select publish at that moment, or schedule, which is basically how you save time. I'm going to stop sharing my screen with you. I hope I made it on time. So, stop
On
sharing.
spot,
Stop
we're
sharing.
open for questions.
Sorry, is this? Oh, thank you.
That was so much. Maybe we are going to be listening to the recording over and over again so that everything gets inside our heads. Lots of questions, people popping up their questions. Richard, let's start with you.
Not a question, Pal, but that was a fabulous presentation. For someone who
you.
sits back so quietly, you delivered like an absolute trooper. Bless you, my dear. Thank you.
Thank you.
I am no longer going to call her my child. She's now onwards the queen.
You can call me whatever you want.
Fabulous.
Yeah,
That was
because
fabulous.
as soon as you said it earlier, I was like, no, she is most definitely a queen.
Thank you.
Joe.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, I had a question. So from your post, you can have that go to a URL that takes them to a landing page?
Yes. Yes.
Is that really the key to migrating people from Pinterest into your funnel?
Oh yeah, I mean, you can drive your pins to wherever you want. Doesn't necessarily have to be a landing page. Eventually, you can also, drive people to paid offers, and you can do that as well. I just recommend that as Pinterest managers, we recommend that you follow like the 3 stages. One is awareness, and as a marketing person, I'm sure you know that awareness, consideration, and conversions, right? So you don't want to just throw the offer sometimes. Maybe it's just more about nurturing, like you were talking about. And yeah, you're gonna have people who binge watch your content on Pinterest and binge save your infographics or binge read your post. Although if you don't have blog posts and you have the videos, you can do that as well. And then, yeah, you're going to start building the trust there, building your audience, growing awareness, and drive people to, ideally, I think ideally is the driving it to the list, because you want people on your email list. If anything were to happen to whatever platform you're in, your email list is yours. So I don't know if that answers the question, though.
Kind of, yeah. And so you want to have content for 3 phases of the funnel.
Yeah.
And do you use pins to get people to share with other people to grow the audience with? So you want to grow the audience, you want to get more people to raise their hand. You want to grow the audience, you want to raise their buying temperature, and you want to get more people to raise their hand. So my guess is there's like a different strategy for each of those 3, right?
Yeah. You definitely want to get people, to be interested in your stuff. And like I said, when I was talking about that pin that happened to go viral, or whatever pin, whatever infographic, it's more about the content itself that you're putting out that makes people raise their hand, right? And maybe raise their hand looks like, okay, let's visit the website to see what's in it. And that's how they get you. Even if they don't take action the first time, they don't always do that, but the algorithm is going to continue to show your content. So I don't know if that.
No, that helps. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Jennifer Seifert.
Hi, Pal. Thank you for being here and holding all this space for everybody to be speaking. It's great for you to end that we end with you. So you're really sparking my interest about Pinterest. You make it sound like friendly and easy. Like when you said the pin got, all of a sudden you had a customer in your a lead, book a
Mhm.
call with you, and how do you like, let's say you do something and then that link is, you don't have that link anymore. Do you remember to go back and change your links, or are you deleting pins sometimes? How are you managing your account? Like,
That's a great question, actually.
yeah.
So I think we were not able to do that before, but now I've noticed that whenever I mess up something with the pin descriptions, sometimes we do like typos or something. Now I can go back and edit. So I do get to change the link also if I want to.
Okay.
And whatever typos I made, I can change that, the board that it goes to as well. So
One more question about, like,
yes.
how you get Instagram, you have to follow their rules, like their
Mhm.
content rules to get more push. Is Pinterest easier than the other platforms for like getting seen?
For me, it is. It really
Okay.
depends on everyone. I've seen people, I have business friends who do amazing on Instagram, okay? And even I met somebody who was so passionate about Instagram that even got me a little, got me a little bit of that. And I tried, but it wasn't my thing. So for me, it's not as easy, but when it comes to Instagram, but for someone else might be. It's for me, it's easy, it's easier Pinterest, right? That's my thing. But it really depends.
You're the expert. Thank you so much.
Lots of love in the chat and
Thank
great
you.
discussion between the opening speaker and the closing speaker. Mervyn has a question.
Yes.
Um, Thank you. It's not a question, it's just a comment to say that it's like I'm putting Poe out there. She's really a good teacher. She's working with me. We're in the process as a beginner, and I just love what she's taken me through. And we will connect again for other sessions to complete the process. I'm actually just putting her out there. She is really good at what she's saying.
Thank you so much, Maureen. I appreciate that.
And so are you, Mervyn. You're fantastic at what you do and connecting people and just sharing that love. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Johan?
Yes, well done, well done. I like the way you have your humor and it's not too serious, but you still, anyway, you did very, very well.
Thank you.
A question, how can I tell if I have an account, a Pinterest account, a long time ago, but you're saying that I would need a business account. How can I tell if I have a business or a personal? Will it say on there?
Okay, so you have two options. You can either keep your personal account and convert that to business, it's free to do, or you can simply go and create another account from scratch and use that as a business account and keep your personal account. And you can switch between one another. I'm gonna drop the links in a few minutes, but you can, there is this link to my Pinterest course and there is a free preview. The free preview actually shows you, no, it's not that one, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I changed it last time. I'm sorry.
No
but
worries.
yeah. So that free preview shows you exactly how to do that. If you want to have two accounts and switch between one another in your device,
excellent.
You can see that there.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hale.
Sorry,
Yes.
which one was it? I was just looking up. I was trying to look it up. Sorry.
No, she's going to give you a different link. And
Thank
right
you.
now she says her website is down. Probably it should be back up tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Sorry to interrupt.
Don't worry.
Thank you so much for everything you do and all the help you have done during the summit, because you're there quietly, but you shine brightly, and always you've been supportive with my events. So I am grateful for you. And now I want to say you're extraordinary, and I want you to know that. Look in the mirror and tell yourself that. It's not enough that I tell you or anyone else says that. I want to definitely look into Pinterest. Me, I'm not a TikTok fan. I was never. I know you could get millions of followers on whatever, but I wasn't. But I did a long time ago when I was in the fashion industry. I did have Pinterest, but it had my different email. Will that like vanish, or can I delete that one and then create a new one, or a business one? Can I create a business one there?
You can convert that to business if you want. Like if you still want to use that one in specific, you can do that. I personally have two separated accounts. I have my personal accounts where I say memes and things like that. And I have and I have the business account where I post about the Pinterest stuff. It's actually pretty neglected because I use my clients' accounts as a pretext to not post for my own, how sometimes we do that. And yeah, so I can switch between those. And I have in my phone, I can go to the settings, I go to my personal account whenever I want to save random stuff. And when it's meant to happen business time, I will switch to the business account and do that.
Okay, so you can have, how many accounts can you have on that Pinterest?
I have two. I don't know if there is a limited accounts. I have them. I have to know that I have two different email addresses for both accounts. So I don't know if that's also like the question. So one is like my personal Gmail and the other one is, my business email.
Okay. And does it get, my last question, and does it have like an algorithm system, or is there a way, like not too many people know of Pinterest, right? Or do they? That's my thing. Will that have an audience to go to it?
Yeah, so I know that you're in the health and wellness, and I've seen you like drop links about the adrenal glands.
Yeah.
So, okay. So for example, let's just type that in the search bar tool at one point, like adrenal glands, just to see what comes up. And those suggestions that you can see, those are your keywords. The way the algorithm is going to pick you up about you is that you have keywords like that in your profile and your boards, your pins, and all your content. So that whenever somebody is searching for adrenal glands, because they're already, they want to know about it, that's how you're most likely to appear in search results. That's how the algorithm works with the keywords.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to our call. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wonderful. George.
Thanks, Paul. Like, one of those who only go to Pinterest for memes and stuff like that. But it's quite interesting what you showed. My quick question is, can you run paid ads on Pinterest?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
My tip, organic is enough. But if you want to run ads, and I assure you they're very profitable, and at least last year, I don't know this year, last year, Pinterest will assign you somebody to manage your ads. And the one thing that I will tell you, if you use keywords, your ads will perform 10 times better. And I can prove that to you. I have screenshots from somebody who was, running ads, but the fact that they were now with keywords optimized and everything, they did so much better. So yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for
My
the
pleasure.
Expertise simply shines. Your
Yeah.
expertise simply shines. I love listening to your answers.
You're
Robert
all
has
so
a
kind.
question.
Yeah, well, for one, I wasted a lot of money on Facebook ads and it brought me no results at all. So it's interesting. I ended up on Pinterest because of other people that were on there, but I had no clue what I was looking at because I just saw all these pictures. I didn't even know how to use it. But my question is, I have several areas of expertise, and I don't necessarily want to mix them up one with the other. Would that mean creating two different business accounts with complete different
It could be unless they are somehow related. Like if they can relate at some point, you can just create boards for different categories instead
okay,
of
in the same
different accounts.
business account.
So again, mine is very like shame on me. Mine is neglected, but but let's just say I talk about Pinterest marketing and it's my thing. But I also have boards about social media marketing. I also have boards about search engine optimization in general. I have boards about branding, even though branding you could say maybe it doesn't have much to do with Pinterest, although it's sort of related. Yeah, so I'm not talking about branding, but sometimes I guest post. I have people to write blog posts in my own blog, and there are different areas, let's say, but it somehow is related. So I can promote that in my Pinterest account. I just don't put the branding content to the Pinterest marketing board. I put the branding content to the branding board.
Okay, so you can okay, because you have that board where you can distinguish the different things you're offering.
And not just you, the algorithm.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Wow, amazing. I'll connect with you. Love to know more.
Okay.
Thank you. Great
Amazing
presentation.
talk and super presentation. And oh my God, the conversations. I want to see the chat flooded with emojis for Pao.
But wait.
We don't need emojis. You're awesome.
Thank you. I want to say something. I think I could dig deeper into Jennifer's last question about if it's easier or like how it's different. I have a full article on this and somewhere on LinkedIn, I believe, but the thing with Pinterest, right? A little difference than Instagram on how you grow. I am no expert again, but I am sure that I heard somebody once say that on Instagram you have to interact with stories and posts and comments and things like that. And on Pinterest, as long as you stay consistent, you are using the right keywords and you go and go and go, the algorithm likes that you're consistent. And if your content is relevant already and people are interacting with it, then it keeps growing, right? So that's one way that for me, personally, for me, Pinterest is easier to grow rather than Instagram. Although I do have Instagram, okay? I still think Instagram is okay.
Yeah, and what's the user base? What's the user base on Pinterest? You know, Pinterest.
The demographics?
Yeah.
So
I mean, how many people are on that platform approximately? Do you have any idea?
Okay. Yes, I do. So as a general, I'm sorry, what?
So sorry, I forgot me. Sorry.
Okay. As a general, there are 530 or 80 million something people monthly.
Oh, wow.
Those are the active users. That's in general. Then if you break it down into ages as a general platform, I believe it was 40-something% people between the ages 18 to 24, and then another percentage people 25 to 34, and another smaller percentage people 45, I believe, to 50 something. And now that's a general, but if you have a very specific niche, for example, if I'm somebody who's talking about menopause and perimenopause, the 18 to 24 people are not my audience, right? So
exactly.
The trends tool breaks down your content, the content in your industry. That's what the trends tool is for. Because when you type something in the trends tool, maybe let's say something about, like we said, starting a business, right? If you scroll down after the graphic, it shows you the age and gender of people who are already searching for those things. And it might look different, the demographic, than the general Pinterest demographic.
Great, thanks.
You're welcome.
The chat is flooded and people are starting to love Pinterest more than Facebook and Instagram. That's what they said in the chat.
It's still okay. It's still okay.
Okay.
It's still okay. Seriously, I have nothing against social media, and like I show you, I'm a social media consumer. That's fine. Dropping the links again. So you're gonna see a link tree. If you have never seen a link tree, basically it's like a small page that has multiple links. And if you find the first one is a free Pinterest checklist that tells you where to put your keywords. The second one is the course. If you click on that and you go to the course, there is an option there. It says buy, and the other one says free preview. Watch that if you want to have two accounts and kind of like switch between one another. It's less than 10 minutes of a video. And then if you're an action taker and you're willing to do the Pinterest thing, find me on LinkedIn, send me your Pinterest account, and I'll give you some pointers personalized for you.
That's super value.